Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's Olive here, and in today's video I'm going to show us how to do three main things in our SQL, which is how to create a database, how to create a table, and how to insert values into that table. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video so YouTube shows it to a lot more people. So let's not talk too much, let's just get over to our SQL. Welcome back, guys. And now, say you own a company called okay, I'm just going to use my name, Olive Restaurant, right? And you want to create an employees table. Now, how do we go about that? The first thing we want to do, which is an easy syntax, is just what? Create database. And we're going to call this database Olive Eats, because that's the name of my restaurant in future. And we're going to run this, execute. You can see command has been completed successfully. Now, right now, SQL recognizes this as a database, but we can't, create any table like this. We have to use this database. So there are two ways we can do that. We can either use the syntax, use Olive Eats, or we can just easily come here and, choose Olive Eats right here. So once we do that, now we can start running queries in here. So the first thing we want to do now that we have our database is to create a table, right? So we're going to start by using the simple syntax, create table. And we're giving the name of this table employees. And it doesn't end here. What will be the attributes of that table? Like, what are the columns? What will be in that table? So that is what we have to put here. So let's just get our bracket and come here. And the first thing we want to have is employee ID, which will serve as our primary key. It is really important. Okay, so we're just going to use employee ID. And this employee ID is going to be int. It's going to be an int. That's an integer, because obviously it's like 1 2 3 or 1 to 1 1 to 2, however way. All right, but we're going to use int identity, and it's also going to serve as our primary key. Int identity is going to start with 1, and the increment will be by 1. So what this means is that our employee ID is in the data type is int, which is integer, right? And then this identity means we want the database to automatically generate these IDs for us. So now we're telling the database to start with the number 1. If you want it to start with 2, you can write 2. And once it starts with this number 1 that we have written here, then we want it to increment by 1. So after 1, we're definitely going to see 2. Then the database will give us 3, 4, 5. That's how it's going to be. But if you want yours to be just odd numbers, you can do 1 and the increments will be 2. So once you have 1, you will have 3, then 5, then 7, then 9. Do you get the jerk? So that is basically what int identity does. So what you have to know this thing does is that it tells the database, okay, I want to delegate this work to you. I want you to generate these IDs for me on your own. So the database does that, okay? And we are also putting this as primary key. Now, the next thing we want to see is, what other thing do we want to see? We want to get the first name. And the first name is going to be Varcha. Varcha what? Let's put 50. Then we want last name. The same Varcha 50. So I'm just going to copy this. So we want age, and age is definitely an integer, comma, and lastly, we're just going to get the department they belong to. And the department is going to be a voucher. We're going to leave this at 30. And then we'll come here and close the brackets. Now, these are all the things that will be in our table. Okay, so let's run this. As you can see, command completed successfully. So let us view our table right now. To view our table, select all from employees, which is the name of our table. So, oh, I did not put the from. So let's run this. And we can see the table structure. Okay, so this is employee ID, first name, last name, age, and department, just as we have kept it here. So now the next thing we want to do is to insert values into this table. So in order to insert values into this table, we're going to use the syntax what? Insert into, we're going to call the name of the table, which is employees. Remember, we created the table employees here. So we're just going to use the name employees. And what are we doing? We're putting all of the attributes that we created, but we're going to remove this one because if you can recall, we already designated this duty to the database. So we don't have to start putting 1, 2, 3 there by ourselves. The database is going to do that for us. So we're just going to remove employee ID here. And we're going to just impute things that have to do with the first name, last name, age, and department. All right. So when we do this, we're going to come here, we're inserting into employees these 4 attributes, right? And we're going to put the values we're going to be inserting. And this must go in this same route: first name, last name, age, department. You're not going to put department first, then age second. It must go this same way. Okay. So for our first name, we're just going to say John is the first person's name, right? The last name, we're going to use Doe. We're going to use Doe, and comma, the age, we're going to say they are 21, comma, and the department, we're just going to say IT, right? So we're going to close this bracket and put a comma, and I'm just going to do like 2 or 3 more and show us, okay? So now we have 4 rows in here, okay? So let us just run this and see what we have. Now you can see 4 rows has been affected. Okay, so now let us view our table and see if we can see all of these things in our table, and most especially if our employee's ID is going to show. So now we have executed, we can see every single thing is here just the way we have written it. And you can see the database did a great job in generating this for us as we have asked it. We asked it to give us to start with 1 and to increment it by 1, which it has done: 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is everything. So guys, I hope you've been able to learn how to create a database, how to use a database, how to create a table, how to insert values into that table, and what int identity means. And let me know in the comment section if you would like to see any other thing, and let me know if you did enjoy the video. I'm going to be seeing you in the next one. Bye guys.